Hamlet. Act 3 Scene 1. When King, Queen, Polonius, and Ophelia are on the stage, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern enter. Claudius inquires about the reason for the madness, and they reply that it's still not found, but he is excited about today's play. Claudius agrees to visit the play and they leave. Polonius wants to confirm the strange behavior is because of his love for Ophelia, so he asks her to read the book and they hide. Hamlet delivers a long speech about to be or not to be, and sees Ophelia. She returns the momentary gift when he was counting her. Hamlet questions her honestly by describing her, "Get thee to nunnery," which means she is full of lust. Ophelia is very upset. Claudius comes off and says that his madness is not because of love or because he has some secret reasons. He plans to send Hamlet to England on a mission after. Polonius consoles his daughter and Claudius arranges a meeting between Hamlet and his mother. Scene 2. Hamlet instructs the actors to be realistic and not to be bombast. He sets Horatio to observe the guilty face of Claudius. Horatio's seats are visible to the king. The royal crew arrives. Hamlet sits next to Ophelia. The dumb show enacts the pantomime of the drama. After that, prologue starts with the jingling rhymes. The drama starts with the arrival of the king and queen, who have been happily married for 30 years. King wants queen to remarry after his death, but she ensures to be a widow. The queen exists and the king falls asleep. An evil character enters, namely Lucianus, the king's nephew. Meanwhile, Hamlet inquires about the play to his mother. She replies with the famous line, "The lady doth protest too much, methinks." King's nephew pours the poison on the king's ears. Hamlet is unable to control himself and reveals mockingly that the nephew will soon win the love of over-protesting wife. Claudius orders the play to end and finds him guilty. Hamlet and Horatio laugh hard. His friends said that he made the king angry and the queen ordered Hamlet to meet in chambers. In a soliloquy, Hamlet hurts her mother, which might be cruel. Scene 3. Claudius hands over the envelope of diplomacy to Rosencrantz and Guildenstern and instructs them to take Hamlet to England. Polonius enters and says that he is going to eavesdrop on the conversation between Hamlet and his mother, and he exists. Claudius feels guilty and kneels to pray. Hamlet sees it and cannot kill him because when he dies during prayer his soul may go to heaven. Scene 4. Gertrude firms about her chastity and Hamlet argues that she sins by marrying his father's nephew. Hamlet says that he will reveal her innermost part. She misinterprets it as a murder and asks for help. Polonius, who is hiding, cries for help too. Hamlet killed Polonius thinking that he is Claudius, but he regrets Polonius as an intruding fool. Hamlet shows the portrait of his father and Claudius. One stands for nobility and virtue and the other is for deformity and vice. She is very upset and Hamlet asks her to repent and avoid sharing the bed with Claudius. Suddenly the ghost appears and explains his mission to kill Claudius, not to torture his wife. Hamlet consoles his mother. She thinks he becomes mad because he is in a hallucination. He explains that he is not mad and tells about his visit to England and will not trust his friends and goes out with Polonius's body. Act 4 Scene 1. Hamlet goes away with Polonius's body. Claudius inquires about Hamlet to Gertrude. She describes Polonius's murder and Hamlet takes Polonius's body away. Claudius orders Rosencrantz and Guildenstern to find Hamlet and Polonius's body. Scene 2. They asked Hamlet about Polonius's body. He replies that he has compounded it with dust. Scene -3. Claudius is upset about the death of Polonius. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern enter with Hamlet. Claudius inquires Hamlet about Polonius's body. He mocks him by saying that it is at supper. The king sends the attendants to find the body. Claudius tells Hamlet to leave for England. He prepares a letter to England's king, to kill Hamlet at conquest. Scene 4. Fortinbras' army is at the borders of Denmark. Fortinbras sends a captain to Claudius to ask permission to cross Denmark to reach Poland. Meanwhile, the captain meets Hamlet on the ship to England. Hamlet inquires the reasons, and he explains about his reach to Poland. Hamlet thinks Poland is worthless and delivers the soliloquy about these men risking their lives for worthless land, but he has a reason for revenge yet keeps failing. He makes the resolution for revenge. Scene 5 at court. Gertrude worries about Ophelia's madness. The king witnesses it too. Ophelia threatens him about his brother's arrival as revenge for his father's death. Claudius understands the things going off his hand. Laertes comes with a group of people who want Claudius to be replaced by Laertes. Claudius consoles him by saying that he is on Laertes' side. Ophelia arrives with flowers and sings a song of melancholy about his father's death. Laertes worries about her sister. Scene 6. A messenger approaches Horatio, with a message from sailors. Pirates attacked Hamlet's ship. Pirates want to return Hamlet with some favors. Horatio follows the sailors. Scene 7. Claudius explains his worry to Laertes about the death of Polonius. The death of Polonius. He cannot kill him because his mother loves him and the people of Denmark love him too. Claudius gets a letter about Hamlet's arrival. Claudius plans for a duel between Hamlet and Laertes. He plans to give Hamlet a blunt sword and Laertes suggests a poisoned sword and Hamlet should be given a poisoned drink during their duel. Gertrude arrives with the death news of Ophelia drowning. Laertes worries. Act 5 Scene 1. The gravediggers discuss when they dig holes for Ophelia. Hamlet talks with them to get more witticisms. The gravedigger shows the skulls of old King Jester and the skull of Yorick. Hamlet loved him when he was a child. Gertrude, Claudius, and Laertes arrive. Hamlet knows the death is a suicide, but he doesn't know this is Ophelia. Laertes revealed the body as Ophelia and jumped into the grave to bury him alive. Hamlet can't control his emotions and says he loves Ophelia more than 40,000 brothers can, but they think he is mad. After the funeral, Claudius wants to execute the plan. Scene 2. Hamlet explains the things that happened on his way to England. He gets to know about the wicked plans of Claudius through Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. He tricks the letter of murder about his death to them, because he used to have a signet ring in the shape of the Denmark seal. At that point, pirates attacked the ship. At the time Oscric, a courtier comes and informs about the duel. Hamlet agrees, but Horatio worries that Laertes is better at swordplay than Hamlet. Hamlet practices for some time. The king and queen gather to watch the swordplay. Hamlet heartily apologizes to Laertes for his behavior and the death of Ophelia and Polonius. Laertes seems to accept and asks for swordplay. Laertes has chosen a venomous sword, and Claudius offers a drink to Hamlet. The fight begins with Oscric as a referee. Hamlet wins the first point. Claudius drops a poisoned pear in the wine and offers it to Hamlet, but he ignores it. Hamlet wins the second point too after watching his son win. Gertrude rises, toasts she has drunk from the poisonous cup even after Claudius' disapproval. The third round ends in a draw. After this round, Hamlet's sword has fallen and unguarded Laertes wounds Hamlet with his poisonous sword. Gertrude declares that she has been poisoned and dead. Laertes confesses the plans for the duel. Hamlet then takes the poisoned sword and wounds Claudius and forces them to drink from the poison. Claudius dies. Laertes asks for Hamlet's forgiveness and dies. Hamlet is dying too and asks Horatio to explain the situation to the people. Horatio does what he says and wishes to die with his friend. Hamlet declares Fortinbras as king. Fortinbras arrives after the victory over Poland. He sees the bodies of nobles. The ambassador arrives with the death news of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Horatio explains the story. In short, he promises the story of Hamlet to Fortinbras. He agrees to hear it. Fortinbras orders Hamlet's burial and the soldier takes his body for burial.